Welcome. We have been pulling data from the Center for Disease Control site, the European one, and somebody pointed out named Destroy on my YouTube comments that they actually started posting the script for how to download this data. That leads me to believe that they're starting to really standardize how they're going to update the data. So if you've paid attention for the past 4 or 5 videos, a lot of our troubleshooting was due to them changing the file extension or the column names, et cetera, et cetera. So I expect some of that to happen. I haven't seen this data yet, but we're going to explore it together. All I'm going to do is use their method, hoping that since it's their method, they know not to change their data update procedures to make the code break. So what we're going to do is I'll send this link to you guys in the description to grab this code, plus I'll post the code on my website as well. But we want to grab this code from the hashtag down to here. We're going to do Command C. Notice that it's a CSV file we're downloading and not an Excel file. So let's go back to our code and I'm going to show you a couple things, a couple of tricks. So notice that we have a header that says COVID data import. Remember, we can click this little down arrow and it goes away. Like that's been done, it's been proven to work, keep on going, right? But we want to make the changes in there, so let's go ahead and click on it again. Luckily it's segmented. Okay, so we're just going to take lines 11 all the way down because this entire code and all of our error proofing is no longer needed. Highlight all the way down from 11 to 45, and we're not going to delete it quite yet because what if the code doesn't work? We want to get it back. So I'm going to show you a quick shortcut key. Command-Shift-C will give us automatic comments for all of those lines. You can see that they're all commented out. It's a little dark for you guys, but they're all commented out. To uncomment them all, you would highlight them all again and do Command-Shift-C or Control-Shift-C if you have a PC. So we have the code here just kind of hidden in the background. Ultimately, in the end, you want to clean up your code and get rid of it if the new code works. So let's start off by doing a Control-V here, and now we have their code in our script. Now, Library Utils is a default library that comes with R, so you don't have to actually install that. But HTTR, you do if you don't have it. So click on Packages, Install, and just type in HTTR. You should be good to go when you click on the Install button. So once you install it, let's go ahead and run this line by line. Do Command-Enter, Utils, HTTR, and the GET statement that we've already had previously. Notice it's a CSV file and not an XLS, so that's why they're using read.csv instead of read.xl or whatever we were using before. Let's see if it reads the data in. Now it's called data. We actually probably should call it df because all of our code below uses df. So let's just go ahead and make this df and we'll actually read it in again. Now obviously before you start any scripts, if you really want to see if things are working, you should probably clear your variables first. But I'm not going to do that right now. We've already started. So I'm going to go look at DF and see what kind of changes they've made. The first thing you should do is look at the data, no matter what. And I'm going to tell you a couple things here. Like, it looks like most of the fields are still there. Countries and territories have changed. And I think deaths and cases, I have a capital C and a capital D, so we have to fix that. So let's fix those things first, and we'll go down and fix the rest. So as you go down, you'll see that, for example, this one here should not produce a number. So it doesn't print it, but I know it's not because deaths was lowercase. So let's just delete that and type in deaths lowercase, and we'll have to do that throughout the code, sadly. So let's just go ahead and do that. I know that this has changed. I think it was lowercase c. Countries and territories, just like that. Deaths was lowercase. Cases was lowercase. And that should be good. Let's rerun these 2 chunks. Click. Not that it's going to show anything here, but I wanted to rerun it anyways because it stored the variable. Anyways, that looks good. Okay, it's creating the data table for us. Still good to go. Down here in our plot, we have the wrong countries again. And we don't need the backticks because there's no space in the actual variable name. So countries and territories, same thing here. This is painful. Hopefully they standardize the way they do it so that we can grab their data easier. All right. Cases is lowercase. It's a lot here. I'm sorry. So just make the changes. I think that's all for now. All right. So there's a couple things I wanted to point out. Lowercase d. Let's point that out. Try this one more time. And so last time we saw this nasty looking plot that just isn't going to cut it for us. In fact, there's a lot of things wrong with this plot, but I want to clean it up just a little bit for you today. And again, we'll do some more exploring later. But for one, it's just too many on here. Let's do a couple things. Let's filter out only deaths that are over 100, and let's just see what that looks like. But I'm going to show you a problem that we have. So we have deaths and cases in here. You see the cases are much higher than deaths, so it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to put them on the same plot like this with the same axes. For now, let's just get rid of line 93 by putting a comment in there. So, I'm sorry, not 93, 92. And let's get rid of the actual total cases for now, just to clean this up a little bit so it's somewhat usable for you. It's not quite usable yet because I found another error when I was looking at it. I wasn't thinking about it. Anyways, click on DF or EDF. We shouldn't have duplicated EDF, but that's fine. If you notice that we have the deaths are daily, I'm going to sort it by date. And notice that they repeat. Like, so for example, this is Italy twice, Italy. And yesterday, or whatever date this was, 29, yeah, the 29th, there was 887, and then the next date is 971. We don't add those up. That's total deaths. So it's already given us total deaths. So let's fix that. I feel like that's a big one. So instead of sum of the deaths, we're not going to do sum. We're going to do max of the deaths. But we're going to do max of the deaths grouped by country and territories. So that way we get the maximum per country and territory. So that should help our numbers look more realistic. And I apologize for not seeing this sooner. So it looks like we have like 900 something for Italy. That makes sense. And we did the top, anything over 100. So that narrowed our y-axis down quite significantly. So now we have it. We can Command S, save that. Another YouTube comment I had was you could do Command Shift K to knit it. Okay, so I don't use this, but it actually knits it inside of the IDE, this RStudio IDE, and you can see it in real time here. And so the only thing I want to caution you about, I mean, it's a great tip and it's a great shortcut, because he said you don't have to save it when you do that. I'm not 100% sure, I didn't check it. But the only thing I would caution you on is that this browser for the RStudio may not be the same as your Chrome browser or your IE browser. You really don't know what it looks like until you actually try it in one of those browsers. And there are ways to actually have it open in your browser in real time, and as you make changes to your RStudio, it'll reflect in the browser. I'll show you that in another tutorial. But that's it. If we want to actually render this the old way, or the way that I typically do, type in render and then script1.rmd, and it'll create the file for us. Over here in this tab here, the files we should get. So let's go ahead and run this in the browser itself. And now we have exactly what we expected, a little cleaner graph. It's not the greatest, but now you can actually use it if you really wanted to. So again, I apologize for the constant changing. We can't really help that too much, but hopefully this last tutorial will get you in the ballpark of learning how to download any data from any site, any source, and understand that we don't control that source. So that's the difficulties that we have. That's part of the whole data wrangling, data cleanup, ETL process that is just like hard to figure out. All right, well, again, I appreciate the comments. Those were awesome tips. Please comment with more tips. I will be grateful for that. And if you can share this tutorial with other people, that would help my channel out. Thank you.